Living your best life. Wait, that sounds fun. I'm gonna interrupt you. That sounds fun. Living your best life in Vegas.
Absolutely.
Do we want to know what kind of party this was?
I will not elaborate. You know how that slogan goes.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Is that the
Always.
experience? Oh, nice. This is good. So but then that brought you to your love of cigars.
It did.
Hey friends, we're here today at Havana Dreams in Queens. I'm Angela.
And I'm Ro from Queer Cigar Club.
Today I have the honor of Ro said yes. We're going to do this interview. So I came down from the Hudson Valley. We're here in the city and we are going to cut and light and get right into it. You know me. So before we cut and light, let's just crack this open, wet our whistle and do a proper cheers. Right, Ro? So I got you some Liquid Death. We have this. All right. So cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming. Cheers to you. All right, so Ro, you're the guest of honor. I'd like you to go first. What are we smoking today?
Today I'm smoking a Plasencia 149 Cosecha. It's fully Honduran, wrapper, binder, filler, all Honduran. It's one of my favorites. I steadily keep at least one of these in my humidor at home. It's a smooth, like chocolatey, velvety.
Ooh, chocolate velvety.
Smoke.
You had me right away.
My favorite point is when I get to like 1/3 of the way through the smoke. The flavors are like really robust, and yeah, it's my favorite thing to have with coffee.
Show it. That's the Plasencia what number?
149.
Yeah. Yeah. So I see, what's that special, you got a special
this.
punch or something going on today.
Yes.
Check this out.
All right, so this is a company based in France. It's called La Fine Lame, which translates to the fine blade.
The Fine Blade. If you don't know La Fine's, am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Check them out because Rose got me hooked on
It's
them.
a wonderful, it's a luxury cigar brand. They sell accessories, and this bracelet turns into a punch hole for the cigar, and also the stones here are lava stones. So it's just like, these are some of my favorite stones. So I happened to stumble upon this one day, and I was like, I need it. And I wear it.
Lava
Wear
stone.
it everywhere. And
Punch
it doubles
pad.
as an accessory. Sometimes I don't even use it, and I still get compliments on it. So yeah, it's a nice thing to carry around.
Yeah, would you say because I always do the V cut.
Okay.
Boom. Would you say that you're like a punch cut
Recently I have been.
person or what?
I go back and forth between punch and straight cut. I think my favorite is probably punch because I feel like that brings out a refined taste, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Not everybody agrees, but for me, I feel like I get more of a flavor than a straight cut.
You know, I'm glad you said that though, because I feel like in the cigar community, and definitely comment below, because see, I'm very stuck on my V cut for kind of my own, that same reason, but for myself, right? Because they say when, you get the air flow, they say you have more surface with the V cut, but and when I first started smoking, actually, I was stuck on the punch. And then I didn't even know V-cut existed at first. And then I'm totally hooked on it. But, it's interesting how you say, punch is your thing. But for, the same reasons, but it's a total different shape. It's a total different vibe. But you feel like you're getting a nice flow.
I do, yes.
Yeah. See, that's interesting. Because we're all, right? V-cut straight. That's always, that's like a question in the cigar. It's like, punch, V, or straight? And then there's, teams. So you're team punch and I'm team V?
Yeah, today I'm team punch.
Yeah, cool. And tell me again, because you literally think it has a better flow, a flavor?
I do, yeah. Sometimes when you cut it straight, I feel like you're kind of just taking everything in at once, and it's a very intense flavor. This one is a little bit more of a controlled flavor, and it gives more profile as you're smoking it, in my opinion.
Yeah. See, now I might switch back to the punch and try to revisit. What I'm going to do is I want to do a V on the same cigar and a punch, and see if I can notice the flavor, the concentrated flavor differences. Because I'm all about I don't know if you've seen any of my reviews. I do so I'm all about that refined flavor, and I agree with you. Did you say more closer at the middle to the end?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I'm a last third.
Okay.
Just team last third. Third. What is it? Yeah, last third. It's packed with all the warmed oils and the tobacco, this and that. All right, so let's cut and light. Okay, we got rid of that table. I couldn't deal with it. So, like I said, we're going to cut and light. So while we're doing that, what are we going to talk about? So do you want to talk a little bit about, well, you told your wrapper and stuff.
Yes.
So while you like that, actually, let me tell mine. Okay, so shout out to Sticks and Stones, which you said you know of, I believe, right?
Yes.
Sticks and Stones cigars. Check them out. Wanda owns them. I did a whole interview with her. I did a whole review of the Mi Gente. And today I'm smoking her, if I could see this, La Essence. I never say it the way, with the right inflection, the way she pronounces it. La Essence
What does it say, Macy?
de Amor. La Essence.
La esencia del amor.
Forgive me. So, you're already lit. Smells good. How's that
Yeah.
aroma?
Delicious. Delicious. I really, one of my favorite things about the punch cut is that it cuts off a little bit of that bitterness that you get sometimes at your first draw. It kind of like tones it down a bit, and yeah.
Yeah,
I love it.
See, I need to revisit the punch because I think I didn't give it enough credit because in my mind I was like, I can't get a clear, windy draw. So, but you've sold me on that flavor profile aspect of it.
I think sometimes depending on what kind of punch cut that you use, and which is why I love this particular punch cut bracelet, is because it's very sharp. So you kind of just need to like punch it once, but there are other punch cutters where you'll have to jab at it a couple times for it to get that, the draw that you're looking for.
100%. You know how like golfers generally smoke cigars, right? Kind of, right? Golf and cigars go hand in hand. Well, one of my buddies, shout out to Cook, he's been on the podcast. He gave me a really cool tea, golf tea, like a real fancy one to keep in the podcast studio. He goes, Ange, a little trick in the golf course. Shove it in there, distribute it around a little bit, open up that drawer. He goes, that's what we do. I said, okay, you stick a grassy, dirty, clean soil there on the course. In your cigar, it's like, whatever works. Whatever works. So there's that. So I hear what you're saying. So let me tell you, I've had the barber pole before. Love it. Let's talk about it. So I don't know if you can see that from there, but barber pole, right? So 2 wrappers, double capa. We have the San Andreas wrapper from Mexico. There's the Connecticut seed wrapper from Ecuador on here. The fillers have Criollo. Did I say that right?
Almost.
You say it.
Criollo.
Yeah, I can't.
I think I said it wrong too, actually.
Well, let's see. Criollo, Ligero, and Seco. Seco? Leaves. Seco. Seco. Can you read that for me?
Sure. Criollo, seco. I'm sorry, leguro.
Ligero.
Ligero, seco. I probably said it wrong too. I did my best.
Wanda, put in the comments. Guys, get it right.
Still waking up.
Yeah, see, that's like I said. We got the coffee. We got to finish that coffee. And this has some beautiful cocoa notes. It has it pairs well with coffee and it pairs well with spirit. I find, right, maybe 90% of all cigars, would you say they kind of pair? It depends on what coffee,
Absolutely.
And a spirit.
I love coffee, so one of my favorite things that I like to do at home is, depending on what cigar I'm smoking, I'll decide whether I'm having a coffee with some sweetener in it, a coffee with milk in it, black coffee with only spices. There's so many variations of coffee, just to say the least, about, pairings with cigars. It's a nice little morning ritual to be able to find what tastes best.
Oh, yeah. Give me, we didn't bring it in yet, but give me double boom. I'm going to tell you, Ro is the right one to have on this podcast. Her and I, we think about cigars just as much because she knows them inside and out, and I love talking shop with her. And we're going to talk about why you started your club.
I'd love to.
So Ro did a really cool thing. She started her own cigar club called QCC. And what does that stand for? And tell us about it.
So QCC stands for Queer Cigar Club. Started it in 2021. So I was actually here at Havana Dreams. I used to come here very frequently, and I was here with a buddy, and we were talking, and I was just like, I wish there were more people within the community that I'm a part of, the LGBT,
I'm a part of.
that we're a part of,
Yeah.
the LGBTQIA plus community. We were just discussing how infrequently we don't find cigar smokers out and about. And, at that point, it was just me and my buddy, smoking every once in a while.
Yeah, I find even in my space, it's like the backyard barbecue, everyone gathers,
Right.
but we're
Yeah.
like maybe because the lounge is sometimes, and the lounge is the lounge, which I love.
Right.
We're here to love it all, but
Yeah.
but there was a need. You're
Yeah,
saying because that's
usually
how
it
I
would be-
found it to be until I discovered you. And I was like, this is great because there was it was more
Yeah,
like few and far between.
We weren't sitting at a lounge. We were sitting on someone's, outdoor area.
Yeah.
Backyard, wherever, at a campground. Some
Yep.
a place that wasn't an actual,
Full-
brick and mortar establishment.
Yeah.
Mom and pop shop type of deal, which I loved. I love going to cigar lounges and just having that full experience.
The whole vibe, yeah.
And just being able to sit down,
Me
relax,
too.
talk to people that share the same interest as I do,
Mhm.
and learn new things. And, a lot of the times when I was doing that, as everyone knows, the cigar community is predominantly, male, cis hetero male dominated, so, being a woman and being a queer woman, I wanted to open up that environment for other people to feel welcome to come and
Oh,
share
100%. Yeah.
that same experience with me.
Yeah. You did it. You achieved it. And it says, what's the saying? If you build it, they will come. Right. So are you saying your first meeting was held here? Or how
Yes,
did
it
that, how
actually
did it
was.
kind of like,
Yeah,
it was
held
more
here.
like, was it grassroots or you found once you posted it, did you get more of a response than you expected?
So it was, the first meet was wonderful. A lot of it was friends of friends.
Yeah.
I was just starting to get the word out, and I just had started, putting the word into Instagram and all of that stuff. So, yeah, that was a big kickoff, and it was nice because I brought pastries and stuff, and that was
Yeah.
a fun experience to...
I remember we had pizza, which I could always have a whole pie.
Yeah, my thing is I love, doing different things with palettes in terms of, like, food, drink. So
Yeah.
that was, like, my way to, like, open up a whole new world for people that, just like me, smoked at home mostly.
Yeah.
Not in a lounge all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say for quite some time, for the longest time, I was just really smoking in my own backyard. And then I think more or less, maybe for me with the pandemic, I kind of like, I think because, we'll get to the DJing thing in a second, but because I DJ and I kind of, was used to this type of like, like I'm not shy with the camera, this and that. And with the pandemic, I kind of was like, and with podcasts really boomed, I'm like, you know what? Let me do the cigar podcast thing. And then just naturally that grew into like just me being present in more lounges because like you said, like, I don't know, like not that I for lack of a better word, it was it's mostly guys,
Yeah.
and all my
Nothing
friends
wrong
were
with
women.
that either.
Right, it's nothing wrong with that at all. But I just probably felt shy, just maybe going into a lounge by myself
Yeah,
at
totally.
first. So when I first started this podcast, again, that's just filmed kind of in my garage too. So I was still smoking only at home,
Right.
and then this branched me out because then I was doing herfs. And I was in more lounges up by me and this and that. And then I discovered your club. So I felt like it just naturally grew. It's like snowballed into like me just being in more lounges and finding more friends to smoke with than just me by myself,
Yeah.
or some couple family members and by my fire pit, which like,
That's become one of my favorite parts
Yeah.
of having my club meets is that so many different walks of life will come to these cigar meets, and it's just, you would think, passing this person on the street, I would never talk to that person.
Mm-hmm.
Yet we're all sitting together in a room, we're at a lounge, and we're all having a ball, and it's because of a cigar. It's pretty fun, and it's pretty, self-fulfilling in a way. One of the things, actually, when you mentioned being shy, excuse me.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Because
Yeah.
Ro is a DJ too. We'll get to that because it's funny. It's like I'm like, and I tell people I'm an introvert extrovert because you can't be shy to DJ, but I am like I don't know.
You have to be in a certain like mood.
Yeah.
Like,
So what's your level of shyness? Like you?
I say moderate. I'm moderately shy. I like to read the room. I like to lay back, just chill, look at everyone. If I feel so inclined to approach or talk to somebody, I'll do it. Or I'm not. I don't think I give off the vibe that I'm unapproachable.
Right.
But I like to lay back, relax.
Yeah.
I'll engage, obviously, but yeah, I'm moderately shy, I would say.
Would you say? I think I cut you off. Would you say like you were shy to enter?
Yeah. So I've met a lot of people at my meets that at the end they'll thank me, and I just never really understood it at first until one day someone thanked me, and then they said, I only used to smoke at home. I didn't feel comfortable or confident enough to go out because of who I identify as.
Yeah.
And thank you. You opened up this place for us.
100%. Yeah, I thank you. I thank you. Yeah.
That's all about.
That's yeah. So with this, the barber pole, with the two wrappers there, the double kappa, man, what a nice. This blend is it's so nice on the palate. What are you feeling about yours? It's good. You've smoked many of those. Is that?
I have. Yeah. Never changes. Always the same. It's a delightful cigar. Right now, I'm getting more of a chocolatey, earthy tone at the point I'm at.
Yeah. Nice. All right. So I mentioned a couple times that Ro is a DJ. Everyone here knows I'm DJ Dolce. If you're new and this is your first video you're picking up, welcome. And I have to take a second to say I greatly appreciate when you subscribe. So that's cool. So, Ro, I called you DJ Ro, but you said I don't really have a technical DJ handle yet. So, I said, yeah,
title.
Yeah. So when you do gigs, what do people like? They just say, "Hey, DJ," or
yeah,
they don't.
Yeah, the people that know me just call me by my name.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
I'm just with the music.
Oh yeah, you're spinning. So here's the thing. Like I said, if you know, you know. If you don't, here's what I'm going to let you know. On Spotify, I have a public playlist. So what we talk about today, I'm going to put up on Spotify. It's under the Puros and Music podcast playlist. So please check it out. And I'm a little bit older than Ro. So my generational pick is Joy and Pain by Rob Bass. Joy and Pain. Come on, sunshine. Let's go rain. I think that's what they say. Give it to me, Rob Bass. That I love. That's like one of my go-tos, And I feel like too, like a lot of ages on the dance floor, it fits. I'm mostly a wedding DJ, right? So there's all ages and stages at a wedding, not as opposed to like a Sweet 16, right? Where I'm playing like Dua Lipa, Taylor Swift, which I'm actually a fan of Taylor Swift. But do you have like a go-to song that we're gonna throw up on that playlist?
Yes, actually, I was thinking in my mind like what would I want to be listening to right now, and it's one of my favorites. It's a nice like jazzy house kind of tune. It's called "Love Sweet Sound" by Groove Armada.
Groove
Armada.
Yeah, we gotta put that up.
Very good track.
Yeah, so that's like chill with a cigar.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you want to get up and like dance a little bit, that's the track that I would definitely throw on.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, comment below if I find like more times than not too, people like to tell me they enjoy jazz when they're chilling with a cigar. So you let us know what type of music or favorite artists you like to put on when you're chilling with your cigar. So as I said, if you're new, welcome. I just kind of want to remind some folks why I love cigars. It just kind of stemmed from my earliest memory when I was a little girl. I had my Uncle Philly chewing on a cigar. He was shucking clams, and the billowing smoke. Even when I was young, I just loved the smell. And I just knew one day I'd have to have a cigar when I was an adult That's exactly what happened. So basically my whole life, I was in love with the smell of cigars. To me, this is just more like the lifestyle experience. Like we were talking about, like food, pairing food, right? And this and that. Like not just coffee and spirits, but also, I agree with you, food.
Yes.
And I did a segment on like pommes frites, certain like elevated fries. I find that it's weird, but I find that matters too. When you're like having certain snacks with the cigar, I really believe that enhances the whole experience too.
Absolutely, and it's not all, positive taste either. Sometimes you'll make something with a cigar and you're like, okay, I know to never eat this or drink this with a cigar ever again.
Ever again.
So it's a learning experience.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah. Yeah. So what let us know what your earliest memory, this and that, or why cigars? Just why cigars?
For me, it's the complete opposite. I actually really didn't like the smell of cigars ever. And
now that's interesting.
As I got older, I met people who smoked and would give me a cigar here and there, and the flavor just never did it for me.
Yeah.
And finally, I was on a trip in Vegas, and I was
living your best life. Wait, that sounds fun. I'm gonna interrupt you. That sounds fun. Living your best life in Vegas.
Absolutely.
Do we want to know what kind of party this was?
I will not elaborate. You know how that slogan goes.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Is that the
Always.
experience? Oh, nice.
Always.
This is good. So this, but then that brought you to your love of cigars.
It did.
So that sounds real fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
found this lounge called Cigar Box.
Yeah.
It's a really nice lounge. It's very big inside, high ceilings.
Yeah.
Full bar. Cigar sommeliers there. And I walked in, and they had this big humidor, and one of the guys there helped me out, and I picked out a couple of sticks, and I can't remember what was the first one that I smoked, because a lot of them.
Because she was in Vegas. She was in Vegas.
Yeah, a little blurry.
Okay.
But one of the recommendations from the sommelier, it just kind of opened up, finally, for me, in terms of a palate that I enjoyed. It piqued my interest. I didn't know that I could taste the cigar in such a way.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was like, okay, I'm ready to dive into this world.
Yeah. So at that moment, were you hanging with people who were smoking cigars? Like, what made you cut and light at the? You know what I mean? Like, you said yes. So were they like, "Oh, come on," like, or no? That like, how did it?
No, honestly, I was just like, I'm in Vegas.
Yeah.
I've never been to such a large cigar.
Yeah,
lounge,
like a sweet,
bar.
Good vibes.
Yeah, I was kind of reading up on it on the internet. I was like, oh, this looks right up my alley. Even if I just want to sit inside, I would sit in here and have a drink or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it turned out to be more than I expected, and it's landed me where I am today. Yeah,
that's really neat. So you don't remember your first cigar?
I don't.
But you remember leaving that experience. What did you like that night or the next day? Were you like, last night was so great? Like
no, it was the same day.
Same night.
Same day.
And you kind of had like a lingering taste on your palate, maybe, or because that's kind of what. Yeah, because actually, when like I said, I love the smell of the cigar. Right, as a little girl, my whole life, even just going anywhere I was, 20 years old, because I didn't really smoke until much even after that. I would smell. I'd be like, that smells good. But like. No, but the funny thing is, the first cigar I had, I do remember it. It was daylight. We were outside with friends, this and that, and probably like a weekend camping type vibe in the day. But I didn't inhale it right or whatever it was, and I just didn't have a good experience. I think I was like burning the back of my throat, and I didn't smoke, and I put it down, and I didn't. I think for like a good year, easily. I was like, I thought cigars would be for me. But then I was like, maybe they're not.
Okay.
Maybe I'll just sniff them, as a pass. But then another friend was like, I got these cigars, and I was like, you know what? I'm doing this with you. I mean, like it was like a camaraderie thing. And then once they kind of told me to kind of puff it, that like slow, right? You don't inhale with cigars. I guess you have to kind of. There's a learning curve for some newbies,
definitely,
which is normal.
Especially those who smoke cigarettes.
A lot of people tell me that too. They're like, Ange, I do love the smell of cigars. Like if I'm like, come on my podcast, you smoke, but they're like, I'm afraid I can't not inhale, and I don't want to inhale that whole
Right.
But I digress. But I was saying, you're like my experience. Like there was a pause, right? Too. But so back to Vegas. So you
Yeah.
had that night.
Yes. So basically, the next day.
But you
what
were hooked.
happened-
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah.
I already had it in my head. I had a couple of days left on my trip, but I was ready. Like, there's a mom and pop shop that I've never been to. That's 5 minutes from where I live. I'm going there, and I'm gonna learn more.
Yeah. Gotta learn. Yeah.
And that was what began, meeting people in the cigar community. And
Yeah.
there's so many cool people that are just so informational and willing to help.
Willing to help. I found that too. Willing
Yeah.
to help. Because I'm going to do a shout out to the Carmel Cigar Vault. The first time I went to that lounge, they were so welcoming, so helpful. It was such a pleasant experience. I can't wait to go back. I only been there once. I can't wait to go back. I was very pleased. So thanks, guys. But so do you remember? Let's say your first, what is the first cigar you do remember? Like what name and blend and all that?
Okay, so this was back at the mom and pop shop by me. It was my father's cigar.
Oh, me too. I think
Yeah.
we did talk about that.
Yeah.
Was it the Judge or no? It was just.
I don't remember
Yeah.
which one, but I do remember it was my father's
I
cigar.
remember talking about that when I met you. Yeah, my father, the Judge. Oh, the best.
Very good.
And that was one of my early ones. First 10 you get the early. You're going through them. You
Yeah,
see what
yeah.
you like how we said Nicaraguan puro, this and that. You find that's what you love. But yeah, my father. So which one? Do you remember which my father? I think it's just there's a straight up. There's just my father. Don't they just have?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I
Yeah.
don't remember. This was about 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've smoked so much since then.
Yeah, and also they don't always carry the brands. I found there's some brands that I fall in love with, and then you go back
And it's gone.
and they don't. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually had that experience. My other favorite cigars that I had that same experience with
Yeah.
is a Pappy Van Winkle cigar. It
Drew
was-
Estate.
Yes. Yep, Drew Estate, and I forget the bourbon company. I believe it's Pappy Van Winkle.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
Anyway, that was my first. I think that was actually one of my first cigars that had a flavor to it. Like an incorporated flavor, that bourbon flavor.
I love Pappy Van Winkles.
Yes.
Love.
Yes, such a good smoke.
Yeah.
But that was my first experience where I was like, wow, this cigar is really great. And I went back 2 days later and it was gone. And I was devastated. And the guy working was just like, oh, I don't know when we're going to get them back.
Oh man.
So I ended up going to the website and I got a box.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that good.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I love when that happens.
Yeah.
Got to work another shift to get another whole box though. Sometimes.
Oh, I got to cut myself off.
Do you have a cigar savings account like me?
No, but I probably should.
Yeah, you
That's
got.
a good idea.
Yeah, right. Because sometimes you have to just get that box, the whole box. You can't just get a 5-pack. You got to get that box. The whole nostalgia of the artwork, the cedar box, and when you crack that open, it's got all your, we're talking Pappy Van Winkles, we're talking Plasencia.
Sometimes I'll just open my little humidor at home and I'll just open it it's like it brings a sense of calm, and then I'll close it and I'll be like, I'll come back to you later.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, so that's I definitely want you to comment below. There's that old adage of okay, you smoked your cigar. What next? Did you none? You didn't like it. We're just gonna buy one more. You're gonna buy a 5-pack, or you're gonna buy a full box. I love to know because that happens. I've had I just actually posted I think yesterday, but by the time I edit this, who knows what the date will be. Anyway, the Blueprint cigar. I don't know if you heard of by the Burn Down podcast. When I first got that sample pack, whatever it was, the first minute it came out, and then I was like, ooh, I need a box. It's that good.
Wow.
And it's a boutique brand. But Blackbird cigars, have you had any of the Blackbird?
I haven't,
Oh, because they produce the Blueprint. But that was, I think, one of the first cigars that I was like, I need a box. So, all right, we're going to close this out. Again, I want to thank you for joining us today. We are here at Havana Dreams in Queens. That rhymes. And they have a really cool patio area outside that we're going to go enjoy after we, pack up these microphones here. We're going to go outside. So Ro and I were talking. We're like, where do you kind of like to smoke your cigar? Mostly like indoors, outdoors? Does it matter to you?
I prefer the outdoors. Nature is one of my favorite places to be in. And, whether it's by a lake or if I'm walking somewhere on a trail, I love to carry a cigar with me. I feel like it's very peaceful, quiet, the sounds of nature in the background.
Birds chirping, cigar puffing.
Yep, coffee in hand.
Feeling good.
Absolutely.
By a lake, on a hike.
Yeah, I remember one time for my birthday, I was with a buddy of mine and she didn't want to wake up early, so we were staying at a place that had boat access to a lake, and there was a boat there, a little canoe.
Ooh.
So I took the canoe, I had a little bottle of champagne, took a cigar, I rowed myself out to the middle of the lake and just lit up and
that sounds relaxing.
drank that champagne. Yeah, it was beautiful.
That sounds that sounds relaxing, for sure. I haven't done that yet. I'm gonna do that actually. I want on a canoe. I like a small, cute lake.
Yeah.
Just not too many waves.
No.
that feels relaxing to me too. Because the thing is, I think people that know me, I'm from Long Island. I grew up, on the beach in since diapers. But and my family, we vacation on the Cape, on the beach. But I'll tell you the truth, it's too windy on the beach because we're right up on the waves there. To really enjoy a cigar, I feel it kind of gets blown out.
Yeah.
So to tell you the truth, on a little cute canoe, quiet on a lake there, that sounds peaceful.
That's the move.
That's
sure.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this up. I want to thank you for coming, and we will see you next time. Authentically Angela Video Podcast. Thanks for joining.